wandering in lush green hills. A distinct music, with its strange but somewhat rhythmic beat, makes one curious to reach its source. The sound leads us to a village where Warlis, one of the tribes of India, live. The Warli are one of the tribes of India. They live in parts of Nashik and Dhule districts of Maharashtra, mostly in Dahanu and Talasari in the northern part of Thane district, and also in Valsad district of Gujarat and the Union territories of Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. They have their own beliefs, lifestyle, customs and tradition, which reflect the influence of Hindu cultural traditions. The word Warli is derived from Waral, meaning piece of land or field. Waral was the name given to a piece of land they had managed to extract out of an abandoned area by pruning extended tree branches and clearing shrubs and wild plants so that they could undertake cultivation for their livelihood. Such a piece of land came to be known as Waral, and the community eventually came to be known as Warli. Oral traditions tell us that the Warlis moved southwards in search of land for shifting cultivation to the foothills of the Sahyadri, the Western Ghats, where they live now. However, in the pre-independence period, the British, who considered shifting cultivation a wasteful exercise, tried to exploit the Warlis. But the Warlis sustained their culture by settling further deep into the forests. After India attained independence, things also changed for them. Warli paintings owe their origin to a prehistoric period. Their wall paintings are similar to wall paintings done by prehistoric man around 10,000 BC. Their extremely simple wall paintings use very basic geometric patterns: a circle, a triangle, and a square. A circle represents the sun and the moon, while a triangle takes the form of mountains and conical trees. A square represents a piece of land as well as an auspicious square, a chowk, which forms the center for each religious painting. Chowks are of two types, Dev Chowk and Lagna Chowk. In the center of Dev Chowk, they draw the image of Palghat, the goddess of fertility. Male gods are rarely depicted and worshipped. They are frequently related to spirits which have taken human shape. Traditional ritual Warli paintings depict trees, animals, hunting, fishing, farming, festivals, and dances around the central motif. Human and animal bodies are represented by two triangles joined at the tip. The upper triangle depicts the trunk and the lower triangle the pelvis. Joining of two triangles symbolizes the balance of nature. The artists have the skill and capacity to depict figures in different poses and actions by just joining two triangles. These simple but very expressive paintings are usually done on the mud walls of their houses. They use just white color to paint these paintings. This white pigment is a mixture of rice paste and water with gum as a binder. A bamboo stick chewed at one end is used as a paintbrush. The wall paintings are done only for special occasions such as weddings or harvests. These paintings reflect their lifestyle, culture and traditions. But in the 1970s, this ritual art took a radical turn when Jivya Soma Mase started to paint not for any special ritual but because of his artistic instinct. The story of Padma Shri Jivya Soma Mase is very interesting and inspiring. He learned his basics in childhood while observing women who drew different designs and patterns on the walls. It was a time when Warli painting was only the domain of women who used to paint the interiors of their houses only on special occasions. Jivya Soma Mase is the first male Warli artist to attain national as well as international recognition.
मला काम करायचं आहे बसा मला शौक हा पडत काम करायचं आहे.
Though a several centuries old art tradition, Warli art came into the public domain only in the late 70s, thanks to the efforts of some committed art historians and lovers. But in less than half a century, it has spread its wings globally, at least for young artists like Madhukar Vadu, on whose work a book in German has specially been brought out by his admirers. Not a small feat for an art still in its infancy in terms of global as well as national exposure.
लाल मट्टी पे चावल का आटा क्यों इस्तेमाल करने लगे लोग कि धरती माँ का और कंसरी माँ का एक बहुत बड़ा रिलेशन है. तो धरती माँ के बैकग्राउंड पे कंसरी के आटे से पेंटिंग करना बहुत शुभ माना जाता है. हमारे आदिवासी में 3 रिलेशन ऐसे है कि जो आदमी भूल नहीं पाता है: धरतरी, कंसरी, गावतरी. अगर धरतरी नहीं रहेगी तो कंसरी नहीं बनेगी, अगर गावतरी नहीं रहेगी तो भी कंसरी नहीं बनेगी, क्योंकि कल्टीवेटिंग करने के लिए बैल का इस्तेमाल होता है. धरतरी पे अगर अच्छी ज़मीन नहीं मिली तो उसमें फसल नहीं उगेगी. मगर आदिवासी इमेजिनेशन ऐसे है कि अगर धरतरी, कंसरी और गावतरी ये नहीं रहेंगे तो इस दुनिया में वारली जिंदा नहीं रहेगा.
A sizable section of Warlis have settled down in the border areas of the neighboring state of Gujarat. The Gujarati influence is in their day-to-day life and the language they speak, a strange mix of their Warli and the local dialect. The rituals they celebrate are the same as the Warlis in Maharashtra, but some practices differ at times.
एला कंसरी सांगता, गुजराती में अन्नपूर्णा देवी सांगता. अने आ तो ये कांईक धरतीवर अनाज पिकेल अने ये अनाज हाने पोंदी अने हा तो कापी पोंदी अने मोळी ने हाने घरमा भरत अने आन कंसरी माईनी पूजा करत.
The Warlis clearly assert their identity as separate from the other tribes and claim that they have been so since the time of their earliest ancestors. The Warlis speak a language which draws largely from southern Indo-Aryan languages, mingling Sanskrit, Marathi and Gujarati words.
वारली चित्रकला ही लिपी आहे आणि वारली चित्रकला काय आहे हे जेव्हा वारली चौकाने जगाला दाखवले तेव्हा या वारली चौकाचा अर्थ म्हणजेच जगाची उत्पत्ती, महाप्रलय आणि आजचे जीवन.
Warlis are the sons and daughters of the soil. They have a deep sense of respect for nature, their culture and traditions, and have over the centuries developed some extremely simple methods to celebrate and express their gratitude, happiness and sorrows as well. Culturally, the Warlis are full of life. Dance and music is an integral part of their lifestyle. Be it a marriage, the birth of a child, a new house, or any other occasion for happiness and festivity, each event is celebrated with equal gaiety and flair. And all these aspects of their day-to-day life become motifs of their paintings. Tarapa, an indigenously made trumpet, is one such accomplishment the community cannot live without and has become the most identifiable symbol of Warli living, life and art. The notes of the tarapa to an untrained ear may sound unmusical and repetitive, but consistent listening reveals that it consists of one bass note which has been stretched to its maximum length without any variation. The sound essentially expresses a continuity of life in which all living beings participate. During the Diwali festival, drinking and dancing are the main rituals as the thanksgiving to nature's bountifulness. In every celebration and festival, the tarapa plays an important role. The dance, which begins during the day, continues throughout the night. They dance in the open space to the tune of the tarapa, played in turns by different men. The dancers move according to the tarapa player's movements. When the tune of the tarapa changes, the dance also changes and they continue to dance to the tune of the tarapa. The dancers never turn their backs to the tarapa. Marriage is an important event for the Warlis and is considered as a symbol of new creation. Every single marriage is considered a cosmic event and celebrated as per tradition. Unlike the Hindus, it is the bridegroom who has to pay the bride dowry for the bride in the form of crops. The white color used for painting is prepared by sieving rice flour, to which a little bit of gum is also added. The wall is plastered with a mixture of cow dung and geru, red mud. The marriage painting's function is in a way similar to the seasonal cycle for the Warlis. They encapsulate their entire universe, concerning themselves with the fundamental aspects of their lives. Two Suhasinis, women whose husbands are alive, draw a chowk, square, and then the goddess Palghat. The presence of goddess Palghat is essential for the wedding, and so her figure is drawn in the center of the chalk. The decorator's square around her is called Dev Chowk. The entry of this art in the public domain has resulted in an impact on the traditional art, and new figures started appearing in the work, being done by the younger generation. Images of a double-decker bus, a car, or an aeroplane, as well as multi-storied buildings, started appearing in new paintings, which were never a part of the traditional Warli art. Nevertheless, the Warli paintings have always been an illustrative representation of a Warli life, and all these new figures do reveal the changed perception of the change the community as a whole is exposed to. The exposure has led to the emergence of a number of young artists, including some young housewives, like Reena Santya Umbarsada, who has found a new meaning in life and feel much more empowered and confident today. Even experimenting with the colors by breaking the traditional barrier of using only white color.
मैं मजबूरी से शुरुआत की और जब भी पेंटिंग किया तो एक भी नहीं रहता था, सब पूरा ही बेच दिया। और मुझे जब भी पेंटिंग अच्छा बना तो वो संस्था में बाहर के लोग आते थे, तो वो बोले कि बहुत अच्छी पेंटिंग है तो करते ही रहना।
Kusum Soma Kharpade is another young housewife who has developed a different identity for herself by her imaginative work.
जेव्हा जेव्हा सुट्टी असते तेव्हा लग्न वगैरे असतात तर माझी आत्या चित्र करायची, तर मी तिला मदत करायची आणि झाडं वगैरे मी करायची। पण एवढं म्हणजे ही कला कशी आहे तेव्हा एवढं माहिती नव्हतं। पण माझं लग्न झालं 1995ला, तेव्हापासून मी त्याच्यानंतर म्हणजे वारली पेंटिंगमध्ये जास्त करून उतरली।
For Warlis, death is not the end of human existence, but another beginning. They believe that death is the same as marriage and observe almost similar rites as they do during marriage. The Warlis live in intimacy of nature. Thus, there is not only the sun and the moon gods, but